following Rangers and Hearts in Europe with all the reaction here on Independence Live.
There we go. Welcome back to the locker room on Independence Live for Thursday night. A kind of mixed bag of fortunes for the Scottish teams tonight. But it's 1-0 to Edinburgh, you would say, because the Jambos won, and that's why Graham's got a smile on his face. He's always got a smile on his face, that boy. Yeah, I don't know what he does, but anyway, let's get on with the show. So Andy, Andy is here tonight, and Graham, and we're looking for your comments after the games tonight. Get in mind, we are on Facebook and we are on X as well. And then the game just finished Ibrox. Very disappointing night for Rangers. But you've got Quagmire, Leon, and sit back. Similar performance to maybe Tuesday night. And I don't know how you feel about that. Rangers 1, Leon 4. Where do you begin again, Andy? Because it's the two biggest clubs. The two biggest clubs in Scotland failed to win, but they were just up against a better calibre of opposition tonight, you would say.
Yeah. Hello, Michael, and yourself, Graham. Thanks for having us on again. Always a pleasure to be on. And win, lose, or draw, if I get the chance to come on, I'll always take that. So thanks very much. Yeah, difference in class tonight massively showed. Coming into the game, didn't expect to really get much from the game. You know, would have settled for a draw. I know I said that against Malmo last week, but especially tonight. Lyon, who are a big club in France, obviously haven't done as well as they've liked to over the years, with PSG dominating and other teams coming up the table as well, but still a very good side. And the financial gap as well between the two clubs, Lyon and Rangers, is massive. But the players on show Lyon had, especially the front three, Fofana and Cherky, and then obviously the experience and class of Lacazette proved to be a difference going forward. But also that, you know, defensively they weren't, I wouldn't say they were great. They weren't really troubled much, but midfield, Vertu and the other guy in the centre, middle of the park done very well too. But you know, as great as Lyon were, Rangers caused themselves a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes, basic football, not doing the basics, not stick with your man and stuff like that there. But yeah, poor performance and awful result tonight for Rangers.
I think if it's any consolation at all, Andy, I think Lyon will get beat Malmo tonight as well. You know, I think they Lyon kind of dominated the game as it were, but Graham, Rangers had one decent chance in the first half, and that felt to Cherny, but that was really apart from the goal by Tom Lawrence, and you know, and they get injured and the goals. It was okay at the end up, but that was all I had to write home about Rangers in the first half.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Cherny has to score. That is an absolute sitter. He's got to bury that. Now, whether it would have mattered, I don't know. But if they take the lead there, maybe it's a different game. He has to score. It's a simple opportunity. I said before the game, if Rangers get chances, they have to take them, and they didn't tonight. But yeah, they were ruthless tonight, Leo. I thought they were fantastic tonight. I said before that it was going to be a battle between Zaha and Tavernier. Well, Zaha didn't even go in the park. But that Fofana was absolutely outstanding tonight. He was electric. Rangers could not get near him. Cherchi as well was just phenomenal. I mean, that front three, as Andy has mentioned, were just sublime tonight. The footwork of Cherchi was absolutely incredible. But yeah, Rangers just couldn't get couldn't get into the game. That was probably Connor Barron's worst performance of the season for Rangers so far. He gave away obviously the second goal, really poor. But yeah, it was a lesson for Rangers tonight, like it was for Celtic on Tuesday. But that opportunity that Tierney has early in the game, he simply has got to take that. You cannot miss chances for that at this level.
Yeah, no, Andy, we might come back to this throughout the show, actually, when we talk about Rangers, because I think there was kind of comparisons to Borussia Dortmund on Tuesday night with Celtic, because I mean it was just basic mistakes they were making, and like you can't do that at that level. In fact, when we done the show early on, when we were talking about this game tonight, I was thinking, Graham, that it feels more like a Champions League game than a Europa Cup game.
Yeah, as I said last week, after the Malmo game, that the league phase, or the sort of draw that we got, was very, very tough, and it's proved to show tonight. You know, as I said, the difference in quality, and when you give players time on the ball and give away cheap goals, as one at least one or two of them were. They're going to make you pay for it. I know it was said in commentary, I think it might have been the third goal, where possibly Fofana was offside from the start of it, or in the build-up. VAR looked at it, deemed it wasn't offside, and, you know, some you get, some you don't, know the rest of it. But just so, as I said, I didn't expect to get a big laugh from the game, but when you're not doing the basics enough, giving the ball away, not staying with your man, anytime we did give forward, out with the goal that was scored, and Tierney's horrific miss, as it was harder to miss. I thought it was easier to score. Should have buried it, but out with of them chances, I thought we were powder puff. Dessers was not really existent tonight. You know, for a guy.
No, I was just going to ask. I was just going to ask you, Andy. Sorry, what do you make of Dessers tonight? Because to me, he was looking for a penalty every time that the ball went into the box.
Yeah, I thought he looked lost tonight. I thought he didn't get enough support in and around him either. But he seems to be a player of, not that he will dive about, or he's sort of like asking the question, and as it happens in modern day football now, there is the jostling and stuff like that, and shout putting and all the rest of it, but play to the whistle, because a few hours with the game will get looked at. Yes, you can shout for it or whatever, but do that, concentrate in the game and do your best to win the ball in the air or whatever it may be, you know. But I think that's a downfall for him. He does too much of that in terms of looking for things, as I say, not so much diving or whatever, but more so, you know, oh, why is it not a penalty, or why are you not giving it to me? Just play to the whistle, as the old saying is, or VAR is going to award it if it's to be, you know. But listen, he wasn't the only one poor tonight, and as I say, as great as Leon were, there was a lot of players there that sort of didn't do anywhere well enough. Connor Barron, as great as he's been this season, I thought was, as Graham said, has had his worst game tonight. You can't play a blind pass like that and get away with it, especially in this stage. Tavernier, I think the likes of Kyle Walker or Carvajal or whoever you want tonight would have had a tough one against Fofana, but Tavernier was run ragged. So was Jeffy as well. But you have to hold your hands up and say you were literally hammered by a far better side tonight. There's no beating about the bush, you know.
I mean, what does that say about the two teams in Scotland, Graham? Obviously, we'll get on the Hearts later on, but what does that say about Celtic and Rangers having good wins in match day one? Rangers away from home, and Celtic was at home, and then tonight and Tuesday night was the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, that's 11 goals and 11 goals conceded, 2 goals scored for both teams. It's not been a great couple of nights for them, but they are going up in quality. You know, there's no doubt about that. Dortmund and Lyon are a step up in quality from likes of Malmo and Bratislava, and it showed tonight. You know, some of the football Lyon played tonight, you heard Alan McCoy in commentary saying was a joy to watch, and as a neutral, it was. They played some fantastic stuff tonight, but that's the level you're up against. And a bit like Rangers, a bit like Celtic on Tuesday, if you make mistakes at this level against decent teams, you'll get punished. That won't happen in Scotland. You play teams like St Johnstone, my own team, for example. You make mistakes, you get away with it. You don't get off with that kind of thing tonight. You have to be on it every single time. And Rangers were miles off it tonight, but you can't take away how good Lyon were. They were sensational. You know, Lacazette's 33, but the quality's still there. That third goal was an absolutely fantastic strike. But Lyon were just absolutely fantastic tonight. I was going to say to Andy, I mean, we talked about Fofana against Tavernier. Should Rangers have doubled up on him? Like in the first half, you can see how much joy he was getting. Does that mean that the white player, I don't know if it was Cherny or whatever, needs to come a little bit closer to Tavernier to help him in that position? Because let's be honest, Tavernier got very little help from anybody there, and Fofana was having a field day.
I totally agree with you there, Graham. As you know, Tavernier was finding it tough. Should Clement have maybe changed it up after half an hour? Definitely at half time. I think he made as much as Lawrence was probably carrying a knock or an injury there. He probably should have brought on Sturr and put him out in the right to double up and help Tavernier. But you know, similar to Celtic the other night, I think Celtic tried to listen. Fair play, you got to have a go in Europe, and why not? I think Celtic tried to play too much of their game forward and attackingly, instead of sort of soaking up pressure and stuff as well. What Dortmund a great side too, but for tonight, possibly the fullbacks deserve to get support and help. You know, in defensive areas at least. Also thought Proper and Suter were suspect tonight, and they were showing up. But again, against that quality, you are going to get showing up. Listen, we can sit here and say, you know, Rangers and Celtic, and tonight and on Tuesday night were absolutely embarrassed and you know, hammered, and rightfully so. But you talk about the questions asked about financial gap and stuff like that. There, Rangers and Celtic aren't talking about, or their fans aren't talking about financial gaps whenever we're playing teams in Scotland. You know, the financial gap there between the likes of even Rangers and Celtic and Aberdeen, or Hearts or Hibs, the so-called next bigger teams down from Rangers and Celtic. There's no real talk of finance there, but you know, it is what it is. As I say, as frustrating as it is to take a defeat from anybody, but especially by that scoreline, you have to hold your hands up and say we were beat and well beat by the better team.
Corner Ballin gave the ball away. I think it was for the second goal, was it? I can't quite remember, but I was going to say, I was going to say, Andy, is that to do with experience? But in saying that, you can have a lot of experience, but still give a ball away against a brilliant team like that.
Yeah, it's a wee bit naive, isn't it? You can't do that on any stage, especially a European game, with that level of threat up against you. But I think I remember it was one of the Rangers players, possibly Morelos or Dessers, I can't remember who, but that happened against Celtic 1 or 2 seasons ago at Ibrox, and Celtic, I think it might have been Kyogo, broke through and scored. Similar situation, but again, you feel the look, you know, even sort of looking over your shoulder and stuff like that there before the ball even comes to you, and to see who's around you. And Barron was obviously, he had to pay for his mistake. He's still a young guy, he will make mistakes, and as any player will, you know, inexperienced or experienced at this level, he'll sort of have to get over it. You know, hopefully it was a one-off, you know, a stupid mistake, but as I say, it could have happened to anybody. It was for the second goal, yes, but would it have made a difference in the scoreline? Probably not, but yeah, hard one to take.
You were saying there that Clement make any subs at half time or at the beginning of the second half. Do you think that would really make a real difference, to the team, maybe keep the score down?
It possibly could have, it possibly could have not. No, I'm not answering your question there, but I think even on Sunday, the subs he made against Hibs, when we looked lackluster in the first half, we looked even worse in the second half. At times, I think he gets the subs wrong. In my opinion, the Kieran Doyle substitution, as much as Tom Lawrence would have been possibly injured tonight, I wouldn't have brought Doyle on. Signed Barami, who's supposed to be a number 10 as to speak, behind the striker. Yes, he's decent out wide, but why not move him inside and put McCausland on, or play Sterling out right and move Cherney across? I think Sterling should have been brought on to sort of shore up the defence and give a bit of support to Tavernier, and also add to that in the midfield as well. But we looked lost there tonight, and it did prove obviously that Lyon, as I've said, are a far better quality side than ourselves. I've just seen there in the comment from Leo that he says Rangers will beat United, that Man United are rubbish. As hard as Man United's getting it at the moment, I think again the gap there between Manchester United and Rangers is still massive, and as I say, a hard one to take tonight. But we've still a good lot of very good sides coming up: Olympiacos, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur. All very good sides.
And don't forget that Man United games at Old Trafford. You could maybe fancy your chances at Ibrox, albeit you went away and beat Malmo, but no disrespect, but Malmo, Man United as a kind of step up, you would say, Graham, in European football compared to Malmo. I still think there's a bit of a gap there, if we're talking about gaps now, between Malmo and Man United in terms of money and that kind of like style as well. But yeah, I mean, still got to be positive. I mean, you still got Rangers are still getting the home game, and what is it, the 24th of October at home again. So a big European night there.
Yeah, another game to look forward to, although it's a long way away, given there's a lot of football to be played between now and then domestically. But we've got to, pick ourselves up for Sunday here against St Johnstone. I think Rangers have, as I say last week when I was on, I'm a glass half full type of Rangers man, and there's always room for improvement. I don't think we've been great, in recent weeks, although there has been improvement and a good result last week against Malmo. But it's still, you need to lift it a level, even domestically against Hibs on Sunday. I thought we were pretty poor, and going into the game against Lyon tonight, you need to show a lot more in the basics, a lot more defensively and going forward. We lacked ideas, I thought, tonight. There was sort of nothing through the team out with of Kieran Doyle did have a great chance in the second half, but it wouldn't have made much difference to the scoreline at the end.
No, that was a good shot, but back by Doyle in the second half. I think that was on the real Rangers real effort goal in the second half as well. But yeah,
Michael, can I just ask a quick question to yourself and Graham? And as I said, it wouldn't have made much difference to the scoreline. In terms of the refereeing performance, what did you think of the performance? Not just saying as a Rangers fan, but I thought there was one or two fouls could have been given towards Rangers. Diamandi in the edge of the box, possibly one on Barami out wide or whatever. But I thought, and you get it with European referees at all levels, I thought he was sort of not one-sided, but poor overall.
Graham?
Yeah, I thought he was very inconsistent. There were a few fouls that he let go and other ones that he didn't, but I've seen that pretty much all week from these referees. I generally have yet to find a decent referee anywhere. I mean, I think the best referee I've ever seen was Colino, the Italian, but there's nothing like that anymore. They are so inconsistent. They give petty fouls, then they don't give fouls that they should be given fouls for. I thought there was no major decisions that he got wrong, but it's just the inconsistency. some of these decisions. And it happens every week, though. It doesn't just happen here; it happens in Scotland as well. We see it all the time.
Well,
But yeah, I thought he was very consistent. But there's a question here for Andy in the chat from Leo. Do you think Tavernier should be dropped for Sterling?
I'm not sure. If it was to drop Tavernier for anyone, it would be for Casemiro. From what I've seen, I think he's looked half decent. He seems to be strong. He likes to tackle, and he offers a wee bit of a threat going forward as well. Sterling, I think there's a problem with Sterling that he can play too many positions, and he doesn't have an actual position, should I say? So that's probably as much as a good thing to have. It hurts him a bit, or hampers Rangers. Clement doesn't know where to play him at times, but I think Casemiro should maybe get a wee run out at right back there. But it's a good question from Leo there. But my opinion would be Casemiro.
Andy, I know that we were saying last week that it was a brilliant 90-minute performance by Rangers, but I'm going to have to ask again. I know it's a bit unfair asking you to commit because Leon was miles ahead of Rangers in that field, but even on Sunday against Hibs, Rangers played well in parts. But what's your take on it in terms of? I know you got the games, and I know you speak to a lot of Rangers fans. What's your take on? Have they been a bit disappointed because the 90-minute performance has not? You play well in parts, these 45 minutes, but you haven't put it together. Is that a concern?
Yeah, it is. It is a concern, and I think that lies with a sort of, in my opinion, the lack of quality of the team. You probably pick out there 2, 3, 4 players throughout the whole squad that you say, yeah, they're actually good players. But I think it's a team full of average, the half decent players. And listen, some people may not like that comment, but that's my honest opinion. Michael. I don't think we perform well for the majority of the game. And I'm talking about 70, 80 minutes. No team's going to play brilliant for 90 minutes. We know that. But if you look back to the likes of Celtic under Postecoglou, came out and blew teams away for the first 50 minutes, 60 minutes of the game, and then sort of dropped off. But they had games won in that time. Rangers under Clement, Beale, Van Bronckhorst, even Jauer, to a certain aspect, haven't really done that well enough. And the real question is, why has there not been enough quality brought in? And we've let players go, and I know there's so-called a wee bit of a rebuild over the summer there. But why has there not been enough quality brought in?
Do you think that's to do with fitness, Andy? I know that Clement said that a lot last season as well, but do you think that if you had a kind of decent 90-minute performance, well, 8 minutes to 90, surely that's got to do with fitness, but also it ties into the quality that you're kind of like bringing into the team as well?
It could be a fitness thing, and if that is the case, why is the fitness not being worked on through a fitness coach or even individuals? If you're struggling to play or perform well for majority of a football game, and you're looking at Hibs there on Sunday, we didn't perform well enough at all throughout the whole game. Patches of the game was sort of huffed and puffed, and against no disrespect, an average Hibs side. There's been far better Hibs sides that came to Ibrox or played at Easter Road and blew them off the park. But it seems to be every game we don't sort of play well. Yes, at the end of the day, you're taking it's a 1-0 win or it's a 2-0 win against Malmo. A win's a win and all that. There, you're happy to a certain degree, but performance levels are not good enough, in my opinion, at Rangers at the moment, and they haven't been for quite a while.
I think we were talking last week on the show, Glenn, that I thought Rangers played well for the whole entire game last week against Malmo, but before that, I couldn't actually tell you when Rangers played well for like 75 minutes in the game. You know that, and or leave Leon aside because anybody could beat Leon could beat anybody on the day, home or away. They're a brilliant team, but is that a bit worrying for Rangers fans how they're not putting together a decent performance?
I don't think it will be yet. You know, they're still. Listen, I think they're not going to win the title. We know that, but I think they have played well in stages. I mean, I thought last week they were excellent against Malmo. Said in the show last week, should have won that game by far more than that. Tonight they come up against a very good side. Now I watched the game on Sunday against Hibs, and I thought they huffed and puffed, but they got the job done. You know, that's what the Rangers have to do when they're trying to catch themselves. They just got to win games, and they are doing that, but not playing very well. But at some point, Rangers will click, and they will find something, and they will get better. I've got no doubt about that. And come January, I can imagine they'll probably send a couple of players to help them with that as well. They also have injuries that players will come back, so they will get better, they will get stronger. Tonight's a massive blow, but you're against a very, very good Leon side. And looking at the next two games they've got in Europe, they've got Steaua Bucharest at home and they've got Olympiacos away. That's winnable games. Now, Rangers in Europe, I said it when they came on air earlier on, Rangers in Europe are a different team. Tonight is a massive, massive blow, but there's a long, long way to go in the league and in the Europa League. And I think this, I've said it before, I think the setup in the Europa League is a good thing, same as it is for us in the Conference League and Celtic as well. So it's not like it's a two-legged game where you've got beat tonight, you're out. You've got plenty of games left yet. Rangers can turn this round, and those next two games could be crucial. Tonight is a massive, massive blow, but I think they will get better and they will get stronger. But there's no doubt tonight's a massive blow, but you're up against a very, very good Leon side. You know, Fofana tonight was outstanding. Church was fantastic. Lacazette was brilliant. Middle of the park, Leon dominated that game. I think a bit like Celtic on Tuesday, you've got to write it off. You've got games you can win, write that off and move on. But it's a massive blow tonight, there's no doubt about that. But Rangers, I think, will get better throughout the course of the season. And like I say, these next two games in Europe are winnable, I think.
There's a few comments coming in for Graham. We'll get to them when we talk about Hearts, because Graham's definitely speak about Hearts tonight. Don't know why. Maybe they should actually play their games with no fans there, Graham.
It might help.
The rest of the season, yeah. I just want to bring in Regan to the show. Regan, what was your take on tonight's game at Ibrox between Rangers 1, Leon 4?
Yeah, Michael, I turned it off when it got to 3-1.
Lucky you.
Aye, because I just felt that it got a little bit too easy for Leon, I would say. But I think in the first half an hour, 40 minutes, I thought Rangers were good. That chance for Cherny, he should have put that away. Right away. He should have, and then Rangers go 1-0 up. Then we could be talking about a whole different match. But I mean, if you look at Rangers' overall squad, I just think the squad strength of this season it's not great. But yeah, I mean, the guy that is Igamani, he had a great touch when he brought the ball down in the first half, 2-1 to the Leon, when he brought the ball down lovely. But I think there's just a lot of players there that they just don't inspire me. You know, like Tom Lawrence, he can do a moment of quality. You've got Raskan. I just don't see these players being like 8 or 9 out of 10 every week, and that's the biggest problem for me with Rangers. But I do agree with what Graham was saying there. I caught what Graham said there about the fact that Rangers have got 2 winnable matches next, and I think these are the matches that they need to win if I've got any hope of progression. Because, like with that Malmo match in the very first game, it's important that you take a chance with the team that you've got, because Graham says they're 2 winnable matches. Well, the 2 matches after it, okay, Manchester United have no done too well. That they're only a point ahead of Rangers at the moment because they drew again for 3-3 tonight against Porto. But you would expect Manchester United away and Spurs at home to be, after that, to be very difficult. So these next two matches are so crucial for Rangers to qualify.
It's funny
Andy, I
that-
was going to ask Andy about this actually, something that Reagan just said there. I noticed as well, Nico Raskin was on the bench tonight. I've always thought Raskin was a decent player. What's the story with him? Is there a reason he's not starting?
I think he's just sort of been in and out of the team with injury, through his Rangers career. But even when he's playing, I just don't see what he adds to the team that's any better than anybody else. And maybe that's because he's not getting a good run in the team and due to fitness issues and stuff like that there. But he had a couple of good months when he first came in, along with Cantwell, but I don't think he's overly good enough. And what Reagan was saying there, there's players in that team or the squad, even coming off the bench. You're looking at the bench, the game changers or whatever. Ross McCausland, I know he's a fellow countryman, but I don't think he's a real game changer. Egamane, he hasn't really had a real chance, to get a go up top.
He looked
Kieran
okay.
Dowell, I don't think he's been up at range. I mean, if you look at the other side of the city of Glasgow, you guys like James Forrest, who can come off the bench and change the game, as he done against Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup semi-final, plays well against Rangers and stuff like that there. But there's a lot of players that frustrate you, thinking, there's a big chance here to play for Rangers. You get a run in the team, or you get a chance, a game or whatever. Show your worth and put your name on up for a chance in the team. And they don't really take chances, to be honest.
Oh, I want to ask you, Andy, in terms of what do you make of the press conference yesterday where the manager talking about that Hadji's going to be back in the squad now because the club have sorted out their financial issue with Hadji. Do you think do you think he'll get a proper chance now?
I think he has to get a chance. I think it's bemuses me why it's taken until the start of October to sort whatever thing it was, contract issues or whatever it may be. The club knew about this in the summer. Was it the case of which they tried to move him on and then thought, oh well, here we'll let him sit for a while? Why was this not sorted out? I do think he deserves a chance. I do think he's a better player than the likes of Tom Lawrence and Kieran Dowell. But again, Hadji can have his faults as well. He's inconsistent a bit. But if you're gonna solve the issues, get him in the squad. I would have him on the bench on Sunday.
Andy, there's a question here on YouTube for from Michael Harrison. Basically saying, is Barron a better basically player than Raskin?
In my own opinion, Michael, yes. But although it is still early days for Conor Barron during his Rangers career, and as I said before, he's done very well. He's settled in nicely. But okay, a mistake tonight, and against better quality, of course. But I do think I would prefer to have Barron in the midfield, rather than Raskin.
Just going to move on to Hearts about maybe 11:05 tonight.
I want to ask Andy.
Come on, man! I'm waiting here. Come on!
I want to ask Andy one more question. Andy, do you think?
No, make it two. Make it two, Reagan.
Do you think there's been
four?
Do you think there's been too much pressure put on something like Conor Barron? Because I've seen a lot of Scottish press saying that this guy's done great and he's done well, but is that only because of the rest of the midfielder that you spoke about? Dowell, Cantwell, Hadji, Raskin. I think it's because they're not doing too well that he's been put on this pedestal. Because I think it's a bit unfair for a guy that was a sub at Aberdeen, 20-year-old. I think we're putting too much pressure on him.
That's a good question, Regan. Pressure comes with being a professional footballer. it comes with playing for Rangers. So he knows the pressures that he's coming when he signs for the club. I actually thought he'd done reasonably well at Aberdeen, and I believe some Aberdeen fans have sort of wrote him off or said he wasn't good enough and stuff like that there. But I think he's done. I think he's done very well so far. As I say, he made a mistake tonight. He will make more mistakes, but it's how you bounce back from that and learn from that, But is it down to possibly being or performing better than the players around him in his position? Probably so. But yeah, you've got to give him time as well to settle in. But also on the other hand, when you make a mistake or whatever, fans are always going to point that out.
Okay, so that was the final score at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Leon 4. Somebody's whispering in my ear at the moment. Can we speak about Hearts? I don't know if I should ignore him, Andy, or what do you think? Do you think I should maybe ignore my producer and move on? Carry on talking about Rangers on Sunday?
Hey, I'll just do this myself. I don't care. I'll do this myself.
I think he very much deserves to enjoy the moment here, and absolutely rightfully so, because Hearts have carried the flag for Scottish football this week.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, well said, Andy. You're not coming back on the show again, Andy. So enjoy it for it lasts. No, brilliant. We'll come back to Rangers before we finish the show, but brilliant.
Come on, you're stalling here. Come on.
My Wi-Fi is playing up now. What 2-1 to Hearts, and we did say them on the preview show. Danda, why did they not get a game? And he comes on and scores a winning goal. Your dancer.
Jan Dancer, get in there! Oh, buzzing for him. Absolutely buzzing for him. He looked delighted as well. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That is one of the worst games of football I've seen for a long, long time, but I don't care. I think it was because of the weird atmosphere, the fact there was no fans there. There was no atmosphere at all, and it didn't make for a great game. I thought we actually started the game all right for the first 20 minutes. We were quite comfortable, and then we give away another daft goal. I just want to see us score first for a change. But we fight back, get the equaliser through our own goal, who I think is our top scorer this season. Second half was a non-event. It was a terrible game of football. Nothing happened. Shankland had a couple of decent efforts, but honestly, the longer that game went on, I thought I did predict 1-1 before the game. I was nearly close, but I'm glad that I wasn't. Delighted. Great ball in for George Grant. Shankland heads it down and Danda heads it in. And again, as normally happens, I'm thinking, oh, VAR, didn't rule this out. Please didn't rule that out. Honestly, I was so happy. Our first one of the season. And yeah, I'm buzzing. But that has to turn our season now. 1 win has to turn our season. I am so happy with that. I couldn't care less it was a terrible game. I just wanted a win.
See, Graham, surely Liam Fox is the man for the job now.
He's not.
He's got one in
No,
Europe.
he's not. I'd rather have Liam Gallagher than Liam Fox. Get that in the bin. He's not getting the job.
Brilliant.
You've got to roll with it. Sorry. You've got to roll with it, Graham.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I suppose it doesn't matter what level of opposition you're going up against, Graham, tonight, and you've not won all season, but you would rather have the 3 points than a good performance, I would say.
I mean, I wasn't bothered about the performance before the game. I just wanted to win. And I'm delighted we got the win now. And especially as well, it's not just the win and the confidence, it's the money. We got about £335,000 for a win. So again, that's massive as well. It's just a massive, massive confidence boost because our form has been so bad. Before going into the game, it was 10 games without a win. And we finally wrapped that up tonight. I'm delighted. You know, I liked Liam Fox's interview after the game as well, saying that was for the fans back home. Really pleased with that as well. A lot of players tonight I thought Barry Mackay was dreadful. He was awful tonight. How he lasted as long as he did, I've got no idea. But delighted to see Jan Danda coming on. Adam Forrester, the young lad at right back, was superb tonight. His first European game for a 19-year-old, I thought he was fantastic tonight. Craig Gordon, we spoke about before the game, he didn't have a lot to do, to be honest. They didn't make a lot of saves, but they needed their goalkeeper. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased. I'm absolutely buzzing with that. I've seen a few questions as well, which I will come to. So Michael says, what's your thoughts about Dando not starting regularly? Do you reckon it's due to his physical stature compared to Spittle or Grant? I genuinely don't know. It might be, but he's probably our most creative player, and he's got a goal tonight. He has to start every week for me, because again, Barry Mackay was dreadful tonight. So I think Dando starts on Sunday. Could Tate and Benny work in the centre midfield together with Dando behind Shankly for Sunday, or does Boateng play? If he's fit, Boateng will start. I like Macaulay Tate, but I don't think he'll play him. Benny was great tonight again until he went off. Yeah, I'm in a very, very happy mood tonight. But actually, just to ask Andy, because he's seen quite a lot of him as well. I mean, Andy, I don't know if you remember Barry Mackay. I'm sure you will at Rangers, but I've always said he's on his game. He's one of our most creative players, but that game happens 1 every 10 games. What was it like at Rangers? Was he as inconsistent at Rangers as he is at Hearts? Because honestly, he frustrates the life out of me.
Yeah, the exact same player, only obviously younger. But yeah, one game in every 3-4 games, you'd have got a good performance or a very good performance, or you'd have got a moment where you'd beat 2 players and find a pass or put one away, and then you'd have got a poor half an hour from him or poor rest of the game. But Barry Mackay at Rangers frustrated me a wee bit, and I know it was sort of the lower leagues and then just when we came back into the Premier League. But even at Hearts, you're watching him, and I would watch him sometimes and say, Barry Mackay is a good footballer, but he doesn't do it enough, and I'm sure yourself and other Hearts fans would agree with that.
Yeah, he's so frustrating to watch. He really is, because he's got ability, he just doesn't do it enough. And actually, I noticed that Leo asked his question earlier. Do you think Hart should have brought another striker? And if you think Shankly and Ginola was your top scorers, yes. I said that weeks ago. We should have gone on the free agent market centre as a striker. Because if Shankland doesn't score, then nobody else really does. We need to take the pressure off him. I just signed another striker in the summer. We didn't do it. It's up to Naismith and now up to Liam Fox and whoever else takes over. But I think we need to get another striker in. Free agent market's still open. Go and get somebody else in, because we lack goals. And it's quite clear to see.
Andy and Reagan, before we blend the next question into the Graham half an hour here, what's your thoughts on the game tonight, guys? Did you manage to see it, Andy?
I didn't see much of it. As I said to Graham there before we came on, I only caught the last sort of 10-15 minutes of it. Now, going from what Graham said, and other Hearts fans will probably agree on, the game wasn't the most pretty to watch, but from a Hearts perspective, who cares? Because it's all about getting the win, and Hearts very much needed that win tonight to get points on the board, to get a bit of a lift for the support, most importantly, and also financially as well for the club as well. It'll give them a big lift. But and who knows, possibly it'll take them in the Sunday, momentum wise, another massive game against Aberdeen.
Reagan, what about you?
I thought it was quite a boring match, but as Andy and Graham says, it doesn't really matter whether it was a boring match or a great match, because the most important thing is they got the 3 points, and you can never get sick of winning a match in Europe. So, as you can tell, I mean, Graham's really enjoying the moment, and so he should, and hopefully they can build on that on Sunday as well. I mean, no, I think it's a great thing for Scottish football as well, because how often have we said that we want the other clubs apart from Rangers and Celtic to step up, and fair play to Hearts for doing it, because that team are still a fairly good side, and I don't know off the top of my head, Graham, who you've got in the group, but I'm sure it was Copenhagen and somebody else. So I'm sure you're glad to get the first 3 points to the board. So no, I think you can be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think the fact there was no crowd there helped. It was so flat. It was said during the game as well. It felt like a testimonial match. It was played at that kind of slow, lethargic pace, just because there was no fans there. You could actually hear the players shouting to each other. You could hear Liam Fox on the bench as well, trying to instruct his players. It was just a surreal atmosphere. And then when you score the goal late on with Jan Danda, and there's like no fans, Hearts fans to celebrate. It's a surreal occasion. But I was bouncing about the living room like a madman when that goal went in. I was delighted, and I thought, actually, then I had to wait a minute. I thought, no, wait, VAR's here. Don't rule it out. Honestly, I'm buzzing.
They should actually put the game at Livingston, Graham, because no one will be there anyway.
I hope there's no Livy fans watching this.
Yeah, sorry, Mikey. Oh no. So it was just like Graham. Coming back to you about Jan Danda. We spoke about it in the show, and we'll speak about it in the next couple of weeks if we don't get a game. But I don't understand why he doesn't get a start, because obviously it's easy in hindsight sitting here and saying if he was starting from the day one of the season, Hearts wouldn't be bottom.
Danda did more than 12 minutes than Barry Mackay did in 78. I mean, Barry Mackay was awful tonight. Jan Danda, when he came on, actually at least touched his soul something. Barry Mackay, I know that Michael said that here, technically Mackay is our best player, but he hides when his head's not in it. And he does. Jan Danda doesn't do that. Now, again, I think technically Dan's a very good player. Whether it is a physicality, I don't know. But he needs to start because he's a creative player. He's got a bit of a spark about him, and he's got a goal tonight. He has to start every week for me. He'd be in my team every week. I don't know why he's not starting. He didn't start under Naismith, who signed him, and he's not started under Liam Fox. So the new manager, whoever it will be that comes in, has to start Jan Danda. You've got to start your best players, and he's one of them. So yeah, I don't know why he doesn't start, whether it is the physical side of things, but Danda is a very, very good player. And tonight, he found himself in the right position. He's got his goal, and honestly, you can see the relief on his face as well. That'll help him now he's got that first goal. It's a relief for us as Hearts fans to get our first win. We've obviously raised the coefficient. You're welcome. So yeah, I'm delighted.
Graham, you're absolutely right there, Graham, in terms of the Jan Danda thing. Having watched him several times against Rangers for Ross County last season, I thought he was a very good player. He was a threat, going forward. He works his socks off as well, I think. And that's something several Hearts players haven't done well enough this season. Fought for the shirt and for the badge. And 9 times out of 10, that's what the fans want most of all. He was brought into the club by Naismith, as you just said there. Why Naismith didn't play him, didn't give him a chance, I don't know. But I think he does deserve a chance, and given that winning goal tonight, will give him a bit of a boost as well.
Yeah, I mean, fans can forgive a lot of things. If you get beat, it happens. But see, if you're strolling around the park like Barry Mackay was tonight, not putting effort in, that's what fans don't like. Jan Danda came in the park and straight away he showed a fight and an energy that Barry Mackay I know I'm picking on Barry Mackay here, but I have to because he was terrible. But Jan Danda showed something tonight that Barry Mackay just doesn't have. I mean, he's chicken-hearted at times. Honestly, he treated that like a testimonial, like he didn't really want to be there, and it showed. How he lasted as long as he did, I don't know. But Jan Danda showed so much more. And actually, I thought Blair Spittle did okay tonight. He looked a bit lively. But yeah, again, we need to get that bit of a creative spark in that team. Again, I talked about before the game, Michael, on the show earlier. We lacked real pace in that team. And it showed again tonight. We had no pace going forward. And that's something the new manager's got to solve straight away. He needs to get pace in that team because it's so slow.
Would you, before bringing Regan in here, would you bring 2 up front? I know Shankland and Danda kind of played tonight, but would you play 2 up front for the kind of remaining games? Because you were saying about Danda's not getting the pace, but Shankland has.
Was that to me or Regan?
All right, no, yeah, you, Grim.
Shankland is not quick. Shankland's never had pace. The 2 players that have got real pace are Vargas and Oda. Oda never got on. Vargas came on second half and offered very little. So we do need more pace in the team. We've got youngsters actually in the B team that have got some pace about them. Now, whether Liam Fox would think about bringing them in, probably not, because he's only probably got 1 more game to go against Aberdeen, and then he'll be away. But we need to get pace in that team because it is sadly lacking. Somebody mentioned Ginnelly earlier on. We've never replaced him. That was a big, big blow. But yeah, I mean, I thought tonight we were we were okay defensively. I didn't think Minsk were great, but I mean, they're second top in their league. They've already played 20 games. They played more than we have. So yeah, that was a big win tonight. I am genuinely really pleased that we got that victory, but we have to build on that now. You know, it can't be a case of win tonight, get beat on Sunday. We have to build on that now. There has to be a confidence and a massive, massive boost. If the players can't get a boost off that tonight, they never will. That is a massive, massive victory tonight, getting that victory. And the fact that first Conference League game, we've won it. Our next games, Omonia and Nicosia at Tynecastle, a separate team. We should be beating them. You could be looking already after 2 games, Hearts sitting with 6 points. That could be massive.
Michael, we need to get Graham some press passes to the final. The way it's going.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I'm good.
The thing is, this could be a Hearts team that wins the Conference League and gets relegated.
I'm actually just looking at the kickoff times, Graham, and if you want to go to the final, it might be 5:45 because the majority of the Hearts games, the home game against Nicosia, I don't know why 5:45 kickoff in the first night.
Yeah, I know. I think the Omonia Nicosia game's actually 5:45 kickoff. It's not great. Obviously, for someone that works till 5 o'clock, I can't make it. But yeah, I know there's other games that kick off at that time as well, but it's not the best time for a football game. You know, I'm not a massive fan of it. But Michael says here, tactically we play far too narrow. I agree. We need pace out wide. They need to shore up centre of the park. We're conceding too many goals, some glaring holes in the centre of the pitch. Yeah, again, I agree with that. I thought Frankie Kent was decent tonight. Again, Kai Rose, I'm not his biggest fan, but he played well tonight. But I mentioned earlier, I do want to say Adam Forrester, 19-year-old, coming up from the B team. He was excellent tonight. I thought he was excellent tonight. Really, really good performance from him. And it's actually, we talk about this all the time, it's great to see a young laddie getting a chance, especially European games. Macaulay Tate came on later as well, which is great to see. So yeah, it was actually nice to see Forrester doing very well. And playing like he's been there for a while.
Yeah, because they've not get any fear, Graham. And
they
stuff
don't.
like that. You know, Reagan, you were about to say something and that rudely cut you off. So, yes.
I was going to ask Graham about obviously going away to Azerbaijan behind closed doors. Do you feel like that might have a bit of an effect on the players, like because the jet lag? They're talking about there's a few different time zones. They're talking about the fact that they're going to fly straight from the game straight to Aberdeen. Do you think this might play a part, or do you think because they've actually won the match that'll stand them in good stead for Sunday?
I think it could play a part, but you've got to take confidence in that win tonight. You're going to a very difficult venue in Pittodrie, who are on a really good run just now. They've won 12 games in a row. It's not the place I want to go after a win tonight, but it has to give them confidence. Now, I know that Hearts were staying on UK time, which, again, I kind of agree with as well. But the players they'll get an extra buzz out of that game tonight. They'll get extra energy out of that game tonight, know they've won. If we'd got beat tonight, then flying Aberdeen on the back of another defeat, the confidence is sapped. It could be a very different game on Sunday. But I think with that win tonight, hopefully, that'll spur us on and it'll give them a bit more energy about them. Now, most of the players that play tonight will start on Sunday. So it's not a long rest they've got. But that tonight is honestly, Andy kind of mentioned it earlier, that is a massive, massive confidence boost. For a team that's not won all season, which is mental, by the way, that has to change the mentality of the team, mentality of the club. And I've said it earlier on as well on my Twitter page. Any new manager coming into that now is looking at that squad thinking, I've got something to work with here. That's a massive confidence boost tonight, but we have to build on it.
Andy, how brilliant is it to see a team out with the big two in Glasgow, basically beating the two of them by going away from home and winning? It wasn't a brilliant game, but I don't care. It's still 3 points and all that. How brilliant is it to see that it's not just Celtic and Rangers in Europe every season?
I'll no disrespect the Hearts, and I'm not taking the glare off their moment. It's a bit different beating Minsk than it is Dortmund and Lyon. But listen, a great result, fantastic result for Hearts. for their team and also for the fans.
Oh well, yep.
I also
at the wrong moment there.
I
Andy,
just want to add.
we lost you there for a few minutes.
Oh, sorry. No, as I
It's
say,
alright.
a fantastic result for Hearts and also for the fans, and with the club having no support there tonight, going to a tricky venue here in Sunday, Pittodrie, Aberdeen on a fantastic run themselves, with no Hearts fans getting to travel tonight. Maybe that'll spur the support on, chance to get behind the team on Sunday, and the team with a wee bit of a confidence boost there will go to Pittodrie and possibly get a good result on Sunday. But I think it'll be a very good game. Hearts and Aberdeen usually is, but given tonight's result and Aberdeen's current form, I think it'll be a good game there.
Right, Regan, how important is it for other teams to be in Europe, as I say, apart from Celtic and Rangers, and within all three teams that are in Europe from after Christmas? It's the first time we've seen it's the first time we've said that for ages.
Aye, but that's not because of performances, it's because of a rule change. So I'm just hoping that they can extend it to February, and then that means that all the teams are through. So, but I just hope that this kind of spurs the other squads on its own, because, like you said, there we've had like Motherwell, we've had the Highbees, we've had Aberdeen, like being in Europe and not doing themselves justice. So hopefully that shows the other teams across Europe that Scottish football is not just about Celtic and Rangers. It's about Hearts. It's about Partick Thistle. It's about Motherwell. Do you know what I mean? And we want to show off that we've got a really good product here in Scotland, because there's no point us saying, "Oh, the football's great," but then not backing it up.
Can I just say as well? Before I move on? Does Michael Stewart's knowledge of football only extend to Derek McInnes? Because he spent half the show saying Derek McInnes should be the Hearts manager. No, he's had one win in his last 18 games. He's a good manager, but he's not Hearts manager material. How many times did he mention Derek McInnes? He's done it every week. We're trying something different here. He kept mentioning managers we've used in the past. Now, I do get it. Some of them didn't work out. But there is more than just Derek McInnes and Stephen Robertson in Scottish football. You have to get past this dinosaur stage. It annoyed me during that game that he kept on mentioning it.
Graham, can I just point out, you started that off with Michael Stewart's knowledge of football. You should have just stopped after that.
I should have done that.
He's a balloon.
But like, in all seriousness, guys, we've got a few minutes left and stuff like that. And Graham kind of touched on the nerve that he always does every night when I'm on with him. He mentioned about the boy Forrester for Hearts. They played well tonight. Youth players coming through, and we always speak about youth development players coming through, and nobody's actually bringing them through their ranks. Now, I'm not saying by any means Hearts are going to win the big right, Graham. Just calm down there, right?
Conference League.
Well, not maybe. Yeah, maybe till January and stuff, and we'll see what I'm saying. But that the serious point is, the squad that you've got, if you can't beat, I'm sorry to say, if you can't beat the big two, well, you don't deserve to kind of get against the Heart, basically. But what I'm saying is, if you throw some down from like youth football, they've got nothing to lose.
Possibly, but I think there's maybe a time and place to play youngsters. If you're chucking them into a game against Celtic or Rangers at Ibrox and Parkhead, it is difficult. But it is a case of sink or swim. But I like the fact that the last two games Adam Forrester started. Now, a new manager might come in and think, nah, he's not for me. That's fine. But I do like the fact that Forrester has played the last couple of games, and Macaulay Tate came on as well and did well when he came on. Youngsters can, some of the youngsters actually we've got are actually better and show more attitude than some of the senior players, like Barry Mackay. I keep going back to him. But yeah, they do show more fight and more desire. And I am so pleased with Forrester tonight. He got a really good 90 minutes under his belt, played very well, and he's part of a winning side. The only side in Scotland that's got to win this week.
There you go. Final score again. Don't want to leave it classically. Right. Leon Rangers 1, Leon 4, and Dynamo Mints, is it? Mints? No, I had mints for my dinner.
Rangers
That's
United, all
right.
right.
No, I had mints for my dinner. That was.
Go Rangers too, by the way.
Yeah, and Celtic as well. Hearts 1-2-1 away from home. Right, guys, that's all from us. Thanks for joining us. It's been a busy week this week. Thanks to Andy, thanks to Graham, thanks to Regan, and thanks to James, and thanks to the team behind us holding us up. We'll be back tomorrow for our usual preview show for the weekend, Friday and Sunday. Sunday's going to be an interesting show, actually. I think we're going to be on at midnight on Sunday. But anyway. So we'll see you soon, and thanks for watching.
Get on Hearts!
Following